You see, Vietnam is a great economy. It is emerging. It is probably one of the world's largest growing economy, and therefore it is an attractive marketplace. Because it's an attractive marketplace, there are emerging opportunities, there are emerging challenges, and there are emerging leaders. In many of the companies in Vietnam, I'm quite impressed to see the leadership quality extraordinarily superior. But in almost all SMEs, I find that area as a lacking area. People do realize, many of them don't, but some people realize that leadership skill is probably one of the starting point for any business leader. Most of the SME business leaders that I meet are in the paradigm of what is called the first stage of leadership, which is ground zero, which is infant leadership. Basically, it is compliance, command, and control. Now, this is naturally not a leadership behavior that will make the organization grow and scale up. And therefore, many leaders realize and begin their journey to become what is called the next level, which is the level of engaging, enabling, and empowering people. This is a big change, and this is where many people struggle. I have to say that this is not the end of the journey. It has to move to even the third stage, and that's the stage of inspiring leadership, involving leadership, influencing leadership. So from infant leadership stage to a teenager leadership stage to an adult leadership stage is a long journey. A lot of distance has to be covered. But the good part is many of the SME leaders are beginning to realize, and therefore I'm sure that change will happen soon. You see, there are four areas in which most of the businesses face challenges. The first big challenge, and the most important challenge that business leaders must handle is the sales and marketing area. How do I acquire customers, retain them, expand with them, turn them into crazy fans is the big area of challenge. The second big area is the area of HR, attracting talent, retaining talent, developing talent. In other words, how do I turn my organization into GPTW? Great place to work. This is the second very big challenge. The third challenge that business leaders face is the challenge of lack of management systems. Many of the business leaders don't know how to build that system. What all is necessary in sales and marketing? What all is the essential part in creating a real talent management system in the company? Or for that matter, how do I create a very strong leadership for myself and change my own leadership skills? This knowledge and the whole change approach is what is the biggest challenge today. Yeah, well, one of my biggest learning in Fortune 500 companies' career has been that business is not all about creating results. We feel so. Results are an outcome. Whether it is profits, whether it is top line, or it is market share or market leadership, you don't work for them. They become an outcome of where you work. So what is the button that leaders have to press are different. What are those? I learned that actually it is what I call a golden triangle. You see, just imagine three parts of the triangle. One part is where a customer is sitting. And how do we build capabilities to acquire this customer and make them loyal? This is a very important challenge to work on, and that should actually take the biggest attention of business leaders. These days, in fact, we're talking about creating a very unique and differentiated customer experience. The second part, just imagine, is where your people are sitting. This is the place where we have to create an organization where we get great people, where we have high level of learning, where we have great culture of teamwork, collaborative work, innovation, etc., which is what turns a challenge into a good culture. And the third place, imagine, is where the operation is sitting. Now, operation means essentially right from the mission that I do, the vision that I have, the core values that I create, or for that matter, the strategy that we have, the priorities that we create, the focus that we have, the culture that we build, the capabilities that we create, the resources that we bring in, and the management systems that we build. This entire thing is what is called the operations management. And if they're aligned well, you begin to get results. Now, these three things do not produce value until the fourth one, which is at the center of this golden triangle, actually works well. And that is the leader. That's the leadership skills. So now, if you were to summarize this, if we can create strong capabilities on customer acquisition and customer management, and we build strong capabilities in our organization for people and talent building, and we create a great capability in the organization on our operation and value creation, and we do all this because we have very strong capability on our leadership skills, that is business. That was my learning. You see, during the last year, I must have met about 1,500 business leaders in several seminars that I conducted. Out of that, 350 of them joined in my workshops, where we go into details about not just what is good to do, why is it important to do, and how do you do. And discussion of all that led these business leaders to learn newer things, newer aspects, the best global practices. Many of these leaders have begun to implement. Actually, most of the participants have been coming to my workshop repeatedly. Now, when I meet them, they say that I think we are becoming different. Many of their staff say that, what have we done to the boss? The boss is now behaving very differently. Of course, one of the areas that I always advise is to change your own leadership skills. I'm beginning to see many of the business leaders telling me about the change that they're doing in their customer piece, or in the talent piece, or in their operations piece. So I think the journey has started. It'll take a while before you begin to see real concrete results, but I can see the winds of change. Actually, there are 4 streams in which I put all the leadership management knowledge condensed, which can be then applied. One of the stream is the stream of leadership and management. The second stream is the one called strategy and execution. The third stream focuses on talent and HR management. And the fourth stream focuses essentially on the customer management, customer experience, sales and marketing. Now, in 2019, I intend to make all this knowledge a lot more practical. And my focus is now shifting into seeing results, implementation and results, which means that now my programs are going to have more tools, more templates, in fact, sessions which will be more to understand about what their typical problems have been, how did they solve it, how did they implement it. I also intend to help the business leaders to get their staff in their organization to understand some of the topics that they are wanting to implement. And this I intend to do it by visiting few of the business leaders, which I will do every time I conduct the workshop. And also a special session where some of their staff can join, where they would share what difficulties they are facing. The idea is that it is not just the business leader who will bring the change. It is the whole team which will bring the change. So it's important that any change management is initiated with not just the business leader, but with the team. That is how we will make 2019 a lot more effective programs. You see, we are living in a different era, and this is the era of Industry 4.0. So one of the important focus area that I tell leaders again and again, and I intend to do that even more now, is to revisit their value. How do we make our value proposition stronger? And how do we change our value for the customer? This is very important, because the last thing we want is when a business leader builds an organization and realizes that something else is happening around which is killing their business model, which is actually substantially reducing their competitive advantage. So one area in which I want the business leaders to focus on, which I would keep sharing and help them to build that, is stronger, superior, competitive differentiation. I want the business leaders to now consider embedding technology in all the aspects that they do, in building a great employee experience, in creating a great customer experience, in enhancing their operational effectiveness, in reducing the cost of operations, and quite importantly, in embedding it into their value proposition that they offer to the customers. Embedding technology is going to become an integral part of leadership and management in times to come. Well, essentially, you are on a journey, and this journey is a journey of change. Everything that you do must bring change. The paradigm that business leaders must keep in front of them is that their tomorrow should be better than yesterday. And the only way you can make tomorrow better than yesterday is to see what new learning are you doing today. Best wishes to you for a wonderful 2019-20.